ran out, they just pulled it, and he described it as pain he never experienced before, because there was no medication, there was no numbing agents, there was nothing like that. So after that war continued, same thing, you know, Dad recovered, back to front lines. They airstrikes on Bratstvo is the name of that factory, continued, and I just remember sirens, and I know that we would run underground. Neighborhood man had built us an underground, literally like a hobbit hole. We would go inside every time we hear sirens. I just remember it being dark and cold and wet. I don't even know, like the food. My grandfather, and I don't even know what, we called him radio amateur, but he had this device that it kind of looked like a computer, but it was connected to a handpiece. It's almost like using Morse code. He would connect families that from our city had moved or escaped to like Germany or Switzerland or whatever. So the residing family there would want to hear, you know, from their family members elsewhere. I don't know how we did it. We had no electricity for 3 years. So I'm guessing some battery operated or, yeah. But he would use the code to connect families. So those people that would come to use my grandfather would always bring gifts or money, and that's what really we used to buy food. And I know that he never charged anybody, and his thing was he would, if you didn't have money, you know, you don't have to bring anything, but people would still be grateful in whatever they had they would bring. We would garden. I'm talking about farming actually, like I lived near city, so we would garden at night because that's where they're not, you know, shooting at us, or it would be dark, but I remember picking potatoes or whatever it is, you know, at night with my family. School. School stopped, of course, in the city, and for a year or so we didn't go to school, and then finally they decided that the teachers will come to us, which was a little village, I guess, really near the city, and we used an old house, and one teacher would come for all the grades, and we would all go in there and study whatever material we had. And we didn't have notebooks, so we had it from before. I remember sitting there and using an eraser to literally erase the whole notebook from the previous notes so that I can reuse it. What am I forgetting? I said there was no electricity, of course, no phones, no nothing. We used anything we could find, any kind of oils with a piece of cloth to light. We had some light at night. I know that women, like my mom, they would go to front lines too, but not right there at front lines, but somewhere in nearby because they would cook for army. Or garden for army too, and use those vegetables and whatnot to cook food for them and deliver it. There was a lot of women that knitted sweaters and whatever other clothing to help the army. I'm gonna peek at this to see if I kind of had some stuff.
You were going to talk about your husband as well.
Yes, I'm gonna get to him, but I do want to say that U.S. did help by dropping packages. When I'm talking about packages, I am talking about probably bigger than this room packages. Like if that fell in any house, it's probably destroying a house. I can't remember how we knew when they're going to drop it. I'm imagining some radio stations and then word of mouth would get out there. And it was always at night, and you would hear it. It literally sounded like a grenade. It just drops and creates a huge hole in the ground. Then it drops. And it's all those, imagine what U.S. Army uses to eat, those Lunchables and those
Rations,
yeah.
sea rations, yeah.
Yeah, but like those, like a Ziploc bags, but foil bags and like cans of different things. Sometimes there was candy, you know, so they did it a lot. What I remember, and I really, even now I can't understand, but I guess when you're desperate, people do things that you just can't imagine. I remember people, whoever later on, I guess when you get hungry, you do crazy stuff, people would literally sit there and take guns, like 4 men would occupy that whole package, or however you call it, and then would just let their family in and hold the guns for anybody else to come near it. Yeah, so I don't understand that, but I guess when you become desperate, you just do crazy stuff, right? What else? I think that's pretty much about that. I'll finish with me, just to say that after, in '95, my dad had friends in Croatia. They somehow smuggled us, I can't remember details, to Croatia. We became refugees in Croatia. We lived there for 6-7 years, till like 2001. And Dad did odd jobs, could not come back. Our house was destroyed. So then we heard about a program for refugees to move across the states. IOM is the organization. It's not part of government. International, what does it all stand for? I forgot. International Organization for Migration, I think. They work closely with government. They will facilitate anything, but they're not like approving refugee status or telling us who's going to come in. UNHCR, UNHCR, that's what we call it. United Nations Health Crisis. They're the ones that are part of government and the ones that are going to approve your visas or not. But how it works, you apply. There are different, you have to meet different things to be able to come, or they've decided if you're a refugee. Have you lost home? Do you have anywhere to go back to? Are you in fear of anybody, any kind of persecution? So I remember we qualified because of the house, but we also qualified because my dad was injured. So I think that was one of the things that you would have to have. And a lot of Bosnians, remember we all lived together, like Catholics, Orthodox, and Muslims. So a lot of them are mixed marriages. And a lot of those people were able to come as refugees because not being able to go on either side and being mixed marriages, because really this war turned out to be about religion. We applied, we had 3 or 4 interviews. You would just go in, the whole family had to be there. And we would talk together, my dad would explain our situation, they would ask for different paperwork, then they would take me or my brother, talk to us separately, to make sure that nobody's not like lying or, you know. And then you wait months, sometimes years. Ours was like maybe 5 months or so, I can't remember exactly. Then they call you and say, congratulations, you're going to USA. They don't tell you where you're going, because some people would have family already in USA. They could be their sponsors. We didn't have anybody. So they just told us, you're going to Baltimore, Maryland. Somebody's going to wait for you at the airport, look for these bags. And that's what happened. Bosnian translator that worked forever, I can't remember what it was, the refugee establishment in Baltimore. I don't remember the name of it. But they had Bosnian interpreter that came to get us off the airport, took us to their office. I remember them feeding us lunch, taking us to a brand new apartment, but in the worst part of the city. Not that I'm not ungrateful. Please know that and this is my opinion only, believe that these migrations are carefully thought out and people are placed wherever they think that people are needed. St. Louis had probably 50 to 70,000 Bosnians right now, and that was dying city, so now that city is live again and businesses have opened up. There's a lot of Bosnians in Utica, New York, same thing, dying city. Baltimore, crime rates, they needed to mix different races, that's my opinion. So we were put in literally almost downtown Baltimore, like, no, not downtown is crazy, so not downtown, but outskirts of downtown, where I would wake up in the morning and I literally had people in my yard shooting drugs in the backyard. And my mom would wake up to go to work in the morning and would have to step over a couple of people that's sitting on the steps drinking till 7 a.m. or wherever she's going to work. So we stayed there for 6 months. We were supported by that organization. There was, I can't remember, I think maybe $1,200 allotted per per family member. And then that organization takes you to get all your shots, takes you to social services to get your social security cards. They get you, they take you and get you food stamps because you're not working, and take us to schools, enroll us. My parents, they look for jobs for them. And my parents started working within a month. And as soon as they started working, we started paying off those airplane tickets that they provided for us to get here. So, when everybody started working and making money, even my brother